When I woke up, thank God I woke up, by the way. If I hadn't woke up, I would have died. It's 100% accurate. The fireman told me, and that was a huge wake-up call for me. What a stupid mistake. I just was kicking myself the whole time. I knew exactly what I did. When I woke up, I literally gasped like, no, I knew exactly what happened. The majority of my adult life has always been that way. It's always been busy. It's always been running from the next thing. But it was a huge wake-up call for me. That was death knocking on my door. I have no idea why I woke up. Could have been the smoke smell, but honestly, I know that God woke me up for a reason, so I can be here to share this message with you. If you are overwhelmed and on the verge of burnout or already burnt out, this message is for you. We need to put an end to this. Hey, you. I'm Steph Simmons, Freedom Culture Curator, and I wanted to take this opportunity to talk to those women out there who are feeling really overwhelmed and really just feeling quite burnout with life and all of the responsibilities that you have. So if that's you, then I want to share something with you. So hang in there with me. I'm going to take you on a little bit of a journey here. So not too long ago, in this very kitchen, I was experiencing the ultimate burnout. And actually, that burnout literally caused a fire right here on my stove in this kitchen. Now, how did I get to that point? Well, I don't know if my life is really even that much different now. I swore up and down that after that happened that I wouldn't go back to the same way of doing things, that I wouldn't be as busy and I wouldn't wear busy like a badge of honor. I wouldn't say that that necessarily has changed that much, but what has changed is my awareness, is my effort into trying to be more selective with what I fill my schedule with whenever I can. I'm an entrepreneur. I have multiple businesses and I'm a mom of 6. I have 2 adult children and I have 4 school-age kids. So life is busy. And they all play, sports and activities and all kinds of things. And you can imagine what my calendar looks like. It's actually really nuts. But for the most part, the majority of my adult life has always been that way. It's always been busy. It's always been running from the next thing. And for a long time, I just thought that's the way life is. And that's the way that it should be. But when I had the kitchen fire, so what happened was I came home from a networking event that I was hosting for entrepreneurs. It was really successful. It went really, really well. I went and had dinner afterwards with some more entrepreneurs. We had a great time. I came home and I thought, you know what, if I can just tackle this one more thing off my to-do list today, then I'll be in really great shape for tomorrow. So I put a pot on the stove and I went and sat down on the couch in my den and I fell asleep sitting up, which is completely unlike me. I mean, normally I have to be in my bed all cozy and then I can even think about falling asleep. But I fell asleep sitting up. I think this was about 11 o'clock. And when I woke up, thank God I woke up, by the way. If I hadn't woke up, I would have died. It's 100% accurate. The fireman told me, and that was a huge wake-up call for me. I woke up. The house was filled with smoke. I opened the doors to my den, and I actually think that's what ignited the flames. Because when I came around the corner, so on the other side of this wall is my den. So I was kind of removed from it, but the smoke was heavy. So when I came around the corner, the flames had just started. So it must have been me opening the doors to ignite the flames. And luckily, they had just started, but it was completely filled with smoke. For a brief second, I thought, I know I have a fire extinguisher here somewhere. Let me find that. And then 1 second later, I thought, you're nuts. You can't see anything, get out of this house. So I got my phone. I called 911. Only my oldest daughter was here. I got her and the pets and we got out. And then as I was looking, my side door faces where I am right now. And I was looking at the flames start to eat my kitchen. And I thought, there's no way that I'm going to let this happen. What a stupid mistake. I just was kicking myself the whole time. I knew exactly what I did. When I woke up, I literally gasped like, no, I knew exactly what happened. Exactly. I could smell it. The smell from what I was cooking on the stove, I could smell it. It filled the air. I knew exactly what I did. So terrible, right? So as I'm looking at that fire from my side door, I glance down to the right and I see my garden hose. And I just thought, there's one way I could help. Surely, it's only like maybe like 15 feet from where I'm standing right now. So I turned on the hose. I took a deep breath and I went in and I just doused the flames with the garden hose. And then I stopped back out the door. I don't recommend doing that, obviously. If you're listening to this, don't try and save your house. But the flames had just started. I knew that I could take care of it without hurting myself. I had already shut the stove off because it is a gas stove. So that was kind of dangerous too, right? So I got it all shut off and I stayed outside. I waited for the fire department. But all the while, I'm sitting there waiting for the fire department. You know what I'm doing to myself, right? I'm completely just kicking myself in the ass for doing this. How did you do this? What did you do? Just, oh, how embarrassing, really. Like, that's what I was really feeling, was how embarrassing that I did this, that I made this huge mistake. And thank God everybody's okay. Thank God that nothing really bad happened. My kitchen was toast, and the smoke had filled the house to the extent of which, I had to have a team come in and scrub everything. And I am eternally grateful for them. They were amazing. And I'm super grateful for this kitchen that I'm standing in right now, because honestly, of course, I always wanted a new kitchen. When we moved in this house, I hated the kitchen, but I didn't want it in that way. So I did a lot of reflecting after the fire, and I realized that this is not a sustainable way to live life. I didn't want to get a new kitchen this way, and I didn't want fire to have to be the thing that woke me up, that made me think, wow, I think I'm a little bit too busy. Wow, I think that I'm really actually burnt out. I shouldn't have fallen asleep, not at that time. And after being on such an incredible high from the networking event that I hosted. And it just made me realize, after some reflection, and I did a lot of journaling, a lot of, going for walks and thinking about this. And it really made me understand that, you know, God and the universe, whichever you choose to use, has wanted to give me gifts, right? And without a proper avenue to do that, I feel like I was gifted this kitchen. I feel like I was gifted something really good out of this. I got all new flooring throughout the house, all new paint. I was able to have something really great feeling come out of that. I love, love, love to cook. I love to be in my kitchen now. And I think that is an amazing blessing to come out of that. But that's not really the lesson. The lesson here is I need another avenue to be able to receive these blessings, right? I need to open up that avenue to be able to receive these things. And the other thing that I obviously learned was, how can I be more selective in what I'm putting inside this schedule of mine, and the expectations that I'm placing on myself. The reason I wanted to record this video was not so I could tell you all about my boohoo fire story where nobody really got hurt and I got a new kitchen, but it was a huge wake-up call for me. That was death knocking on my door. I have no idea why I woke up. Could have been the smoke smell, but honestly, I know that God woke me up for a reason, so I can be here to share this message with you. If you are overwhelmed and on the verge of burnout or already burnt out, this message is for you. We need to put an end to this. I have so many female friends that I see who are also entrepreneurs or busy moms, or, just so busy. And we've let this become the norm. We've let ourselves as women take on all of these, so many responsibilities, more than we really should take on. And I'm not trying to judge you. I just know that for me and for many people that I know, I see them walking through this life and just going from the next to the next thing to do, doing this, running here, running there. It just feels crazy. It feels like too much. There's nothing that I want more right now than to keep moving in the direction of finding ways that I know that in my life I can have some peace. I can have some moments where I don't have to be anywhere. I don't have to answer anything. I don't have to do anything. I want that more than anything. And I've been leading up to that for so long. And I knew that even before the fire. I was aware to an extent that things were just unsustainable. There's no way I could continue to go on that way. But it really did wake me up. And I am taking that as my sign that I need to do something with this. My passion for years, and even before the fire and for years before that, was to help other women to have a sense of freedom in their lives. And what do I mean by that? I really want women to understand that we have a choice. We can choose what we want to do with our lives. We can choose how we help other people. We can choose who we help, when we help. We can choose what we do for our kids or don't do for our kids, for our husbands, for our family, for our sisters and brothers and moms and dads. We don't have to be the end all be all of everything. Right? And I think that we have allowed this society to pile all of the expectations on top of us. And now we're starting to crumble underneath them. And that's not cool, right? It's just not. And I am actively saying, no, thanks. No, you know what? At some point, we have to choose us. We have to choose our health, whether it's physical or mental health. I know I have suffered enormously in those areas because I haven't put myself first. And if we don't put ourselves first, we have nothing to give other people. What we give them then is a frustrated, stressed out, emotionally unstable version of ourselves. And that's not what we want. We want to shine. We want to use our talents and our gifts every day to light up the world. And I know that you have that inside of you. If you're still watching this video right now, I know that you want to do that too. I know you do. We all want to share the best of ourselves, but we can't do that when we're crumbling under the pressure of everyday life. I find oftentimes, and I am definitely included in this, I don't put enough responsibility on my kids to help me around the house, or other people in my lives. I just keep going, I can do that. Don't worry, you can do it. But I can't. Even in my businesses, I've hired more people because I just can't do all the things myself. And I want to be okay with that. And I want you to be okay with that. If you can't afford to hire help, see if you can trade some services. Get the help that you need, because we can't continue on like this. It is not sustainable. And I don't want something really awful to happen to anyone watching this who is feeling burnt out, feeling overwhelmed. If you're an entrepreneur or not, it doesn't matter. I feel like this speaks to all women. And if you're not a woman watching this and you're someone else who feels completely overwhelmed too, it's the same message. Let's choose a lighter way of being. And what I mean by lighter is let's not fill every second with things and things to do. Let's try to make time so that we can regroup, so that we can have some peace, so that we can find joy in the smaller things, in the simpler things. So we can take time to actually enjoy life and the people we have in it. That's all I want for everyone. And if I can help you with that in some way, that's what I'm here to do. I know that's what I've been put here to do. Is to take this message and do something with it. I received this message by the grace of God. I know that, and I know that I meant to share it with you. So here it is. And now what are you going to do with it? It's totally up to you what you do with this message. I don't want you to feel it as judgment. I don't want you to think, yeah, it's easy for you to say in your situation or whatever. I don't have a ton of money. I don't have a ton of resources. I don't have a ton of anything other than kids, really. But I do believe that we all have a choice in our life. And we need to actually believe that. We need to actually start exercising those choices. We need to actually take an inventory of our lives, of the people who we're surrounding ourselves with, of the things that we're putting in our lives. We only have 24 hours a day. We all have the same 24 hours. Let's use them in the best way that we can. So how can we work smarter, not harder? One way, hire some help. sometimes we have to pay for it a little bit in advance of when we need it so that we don't get to that place of burnout where it's like, okay, now I'm burnt out. I actually need to ask for some help. Why are we so afraid to ask for help anyway? Like, why aren't we asking for help? Do you remember the days when your parents, I don't know if you are old enough to remember this, but I do remember people helping my parents. If we moved, people were there. If we were doing, and like I remember my dad and his brothers and friends putting on a new roof on our house. I remember all kinds of things like that that don't seem to be happening these days. And if they are happening for you, you are super lucky and you've done all the right things. So congratulations. But right now I feel like we've insulated ourselves in a sense and made it our responsibility to do all of these things. But why are we doing all of these things? It can be so like as simple as something as, hiring a house cleaner. That's what they do. They love their job. Mostly. I've met many house cleaners that love to clean and they've started their own business doing it. So why would I deny them that opportunity to do something that I don't particularly like doing? But I put all that stress on myself, and we've actually conditioned ourselves also to believe that we should do it ourselves, that it's wrong to have someone come in and clean your house. We can't be everywhere and do everything. So if you're a really busy person, there's nothing wrong with hiring that out. There's nothing wrong with like getting that kind of help. That's just one example, house cleaner, right? But why are we trying to learn how to fix everything ourselves too? I came across a wonderful book and I will share it with you. It's called Who Not How. It is directed a lot to business, but it applies in every area of your life as well. We are often just always trying to figure out how to do things. There's nothing wrong with learning. I'm a lifelong learner for sure. I'm always going to be. I do believe in learning. I do believe that it's important that we understand, especially our businesses and what's happening in our lives and be connected to that. But we don't have to be the one to know how to do everything. So the book Who Not How by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy is that we can look for the who's instead of always asking how. So instead of saying, how can I get this done or how can I do this? It's really more about who. Who can help me with this? And it's a new way of thinking as far as I'm concerned, because most of the people that I talk to don't think that way. They don't think who can do this. They think, I got to do this. I need to learn how to do this. I got to figure it out. And then they don't, right? Because it's overwhelming, because it wasn't meant for us to learn how to do. It wasn't meant for us to add that to our skill set. Sometimes, not always, but let's parcel out the things that we aren't particularly interested in learning how to do. Oftentimes we actually procrastinate, and this is in the book as well, I believe. We procrastinate the things that weren't meant for us to do, right? If we're not super passionate about learning that, then why are we doing it? So I wanted to share this message with you because if you are like me and super burnt out, overwhelmed with all kinds of things, and kind of hit that place of, yikes, that's really scary, and I don't want to do that again. I just want this message to find you. So thanks for listening for this long. If you are seeking help in your online business, me and my team can definitely help with that. We offer a free community called Freedom Culture. And Freedom Culture is all about choosing what we want to have in our lives. It is about creating an income from our passions, from our knowledge, from things that we already know. We're not asking how to do this. We're not saying we need to learn more. We're taking what we already have inside of us that is meant for us to get out into this world, and we're packaging that into a business. And I'm helping you do that. So I also offer a free discovery call. I would love to chat with you. I'm not going to try to sell you anything. I just want to help. That's what I'm here to do. I just want to help you. So let me do that. Click one of the links below. Let me help you in some way. Join our community. It is an abundance of female entrepreneurs starting their online business. Perhaps you want to build a course or grow a community, or you want to do some online coaching of any kind. That's what we're helping you to do inside the community. So we're helping in all areas of that, and I invite you to come inside. So thanks for listening in on this. I'm glad to share a little bit of more about myself on this channel as well, and I'll try to weave that through the videos as you're going forward. But I thought it was really important to share that message with you. So thanks for listening. Bye for now.